Okay, no dankaya. Nago dankaya sagat dankaya. Dankaya nago. Ama shaman ijana dankaya. Dankaya. باش تماشاوان اینجا وقت مشوار گود اوه تقریبا نیف ساعتك شی بولجم هنک پروبلم هبو دواری تکنیکی در دنگی وی ندهات دنگی مدر ند کت نا وقتی خیال کرنگ دنگ باشه از بیبی ما دنگ باش بنا دنگ هيا اشكرما خورا اشاراتك مدن اشكرما خورا دنگ هيا نا كك سردار تنال سر خطي دنگ هيا اوري كوري ما بكن دنگ هيا ها انظن دنگ هيا جاميري جاو دلال بري جم ام اري دنگ هيا تمام سپاس امي نها میوانا خدر خيني سر خطي باشه سپاس باشه Mrs. Maxine I am very happy that you our guest on our canal Stuna Court from Sweden and you from the United States you are with us we want to talk about Syrian minority and about your organization we have a few questions from my side and from our follower and we will try to use simple words in English because we cannot so very good English. Our English not too perfect. Now I will try just say a few words in Kurdish. تماشاوان جاو دلال میوانا ما روزنامه‌وانا که امریکیه اج امریکا بمرایا بخوار روزنامه‌وانا و هم سیاست مدار جی و هم در خصنا که دکار دیگه جبور مافی اقلیات که اقلیات ام سوری و روحات نابین امین آج وی بپرسن بلا هو صرف با اخفاء و پشتی من پرسه خواجه بکن Mrs. Maxine please can you tell us about yourself who are you
Good evening. It's
Good evening.
finally good to have the good technology in place.
Thank you.
I'm Maxine Jover. I am a journalist and a political activist. I have been very involved in the Middle East situation for many, many, many decades, and very specifically in deep friendship with the Druze community for the last 30 years. I have the privilege of having dear friends in the community, and among them Ayub Kara,
Yeah.
the former Minister of Communications.
Yeah.
And Ayub has been cited as chairman of a new organization called AIDPAC.
Yeah.
And AIDPAC means the American International Druze Political Action Council.
Yeah.
AIDPAC's mission is education and is seeking helpful solutions for the Druze community in Sweden. As many of you know, Sweden, about a year ago, a
Yeah.
year and a week or so ago, was attacked by militia coming from very many jihadist groups and from Bedouin tribes, and 1,700 people lost their lives. And not only 1,700 people lost their lives, but thousands, hundreds of thousands lost their homes. Villages were burned and looted, and the population has been displaced. About 150,000 people are displaced, and the solutions are not clear. And that's what our basis is. We at AIPAC are attempting to bring the situation more actively to members of Congress, to the representatives of the House and the members of the Senate, in order that they understand what is happening.
Please, Maxine, excuse me, just I want, I go back, I will ask you later about everything this group done in Syria, but just you are a member of the Druze Americans lobby, yes?
I'm a member
listen,
of AIPAC,
But
the American.
my question is, you protect all minority in Syrian or just Druze minority?
It is an international organization of Druze and those who support the humanitarian work
Yeah.
of AIPAC, including myself. As I noted, I have a long and very warm relationship with many members of the community.
Yeah.
And I am honored to be part of this effort to educate. You know, we don't stand alone. We stand together and we stand stronger.
Okay. But if you ask you about the Kurdish people, for example, what do you think about the right of Kurd in Syria, and what your organization can do for Kurdish people in Syria?
Well, look, the Kurds in Syria are in a very unique position. Some of that community is in Turkey.
Yeah.
Some of that community is in Syria.
Yeah.
And the Turks and the Syrians have their own battles.
Yeah.
And the Kurdish community is getting caught in the middle of this battle. There are many in the Kurdish community, including Intifada Kada, who you may know in Washington,
Yeah.
who would seek independence for the Kurdish community, certainly the right to protect themselves and to have a quiet life, an ordinary, sensible life, as we hope the Druze community will have the same opportunity.
Yeah.
The question of where this new Syrian government will go and what will be the actual position of the head of the government is still one that's a question.
But do you think the new Syrian government can protect the right of people? What does it need to do?
There are proposals that the rights of the various indigenous people in Syria,
Yeah.
the Kurds, the Alawites, the Druze, have some sort of protectorate to allow their rights and their humanity to be protected. Whether that will be the eventual desire of the government is yet to be seen. It seems like the West, the White House, for example, would like to see a strong federal kind of government in Syria, but none of us know what that actual outcome can be yet.
Okay, but Mrs. Maxine, some people say that the American government use minorities for their own interests. What do you think about that?
Look, every government acts for its own interests.
Yeah.
America is not different. America, at this moment, headed by the current administration, has certain desires and expectations and will act to fulfill those desires. Is that the best for the Kurds? Is that the best for the Druze? So there are many questions. There are very many questions.
But how do organization your organization can support the minority? Which role your organization can do
look,
for minority?
AIPAC has the interests of the Druze community as its first priority. That is, of course, understandable. It's a Druze organization.
Yeah.
There are many in the Druze community who would like to see a strong association with Israel. If anyone's been looking at some of the video coming out of Sweda, you will see many people waving Druze flags and Israeli flags. And the hope is that the connection will be made stronger so that the community will be better protected. That is what AIPAC would like to see happen. essentially that the community be protected. And the best way at this point looks like it would be an era of protection, not sovereignty, but protection
Yeah.
from elements in Israel. I mean, for example, we know that there are some supplies going into Sweden through mechanisms
Yeah.
that are helping the medical aspect, helping some of the needs that the community has lost because of these attacks. And when there are attacks, it's obvious that things are damaged. It's very hard to repair
Okay.
the damage under a condition of war.
Okay.
And it is only 1 year since this tragedy.
Wow.
What happened in Sweden is not very different than what happened on October 7th in Gaza when the Hamas invaded Israel. These were people in Israel living a normal, quiet life, celebrating at a festival.
Okay.
And they were attacked. What happened in Sweden to the Druze community? 1,700 people killed. 1,700 in a minimum amount of time. This is not a different situation. This is a tragedy. And this is what the people of Sweden never will allow to happen again.
But Mr. Maxine, what should the United States and other country to do to help protect the right of Palestinian Syrian after tragedy or massacre in Sweden and many problem with Kurdish people and Alawi, other minorities? What United States and other country do for protect them?
Look, the United States, and we've spoken with some members of Congress who have an interest in the area. Excuse me, the United States appears to want to help the current leader in Syria establish what is hoped to be a democracy.
Yeah.
The current leader in Syria does not come out of a democratic background. Yeah. Will he be able to foster a government that will recognize and respect the rights of all of its people? Let us go beyond the tribal connections. Will everyone in Syria have equal respect and equal rights? That's the real question. Does this current government in Damascus have the ability to guarantee safety and rights and respect to each of the communities? We don't know. This is a very, very wide question. But when children, for example, young people in Sweden are not allowed to take their baccalaureate, their high school exit exams, the necessary document that will allow them to attend universities, when they're not allowed to take that in Sweden and have to make a journey to Damascus, which is essentially very dangerous for these young people, is that a way of respecting the community? What can be done to help these baccalaureates be available, be safe, and be acknowledged? This is one of the questions that we are currently facing. How can we help this specific group of high school graduates continue with their education? You know, without education in this wide world, one is doomed. So this is something that we are currently attempting to secure the rights of these young people to take their baccalaureate in Sweden, or at least online at an international forum, so that they have the ability to continue their life's preparation.
Yeah, but Mr. Maxine, I ask you again about Syrian government. Do you think this regime, originally they have a terror organization, and their leader was number one for terror? They have many terror background. Do you think this regime can make democracy and fairly and freedom in Syria?
You know, as I said, the leadership does not have a background in democracy. The leadership has a background in terror.
Yes.
Can terror be grown out of to approach government from democratic, respectful to all aspects? This is a question that remains open. The costuming has changed. Has the person changed? Again, sitting in New York, perhaps more informed than some,
Yeah.
it still isn't knowledge that anyone except those within the inner circle really has. And we make no position of being anywhere close to that circle.
But the United States and the Europe country, they have big role. They can stop him and do something. He listened to them. Americans President, yeah, he said many times, "I bring him to power." That's mean they can stop him.
Abraham, Ken is a very big word. It only has 3 letters, but it's a very big word.
Yeah.
And should is another big word. Will they? Should they? Can they encourage and secure a democratic government, whether by influence or by financing, making it more attractive to be in a democratic situation with I'll refer again to the word respect, with acknowledgement of each person's right to a quiet, secure life.
Yeah.
Can that be fostered by financing, by projects, by military, shall we say, advice? This is a question that's an open question. I certainly cannot pretend to have an answer to that. Again, I agree with you. The governments in the United States and Europe would love to see democracy in Syria. Certainly, following the dictatorship that preceded this government, it will be a welcome change. Will it happen is an open question.
Okay, because you have a big lobby in United States and the world, you cannot, for example, press and go inside to Congress and American government, and which role you can do your organization with the government.
What AIPAC is doing and can do, and again, can is a very big word, is make the situation much more well known to the government, to the officers of the American government, the senators, the House of Representatives members, Congress people, and their staffs, so that they understand not only who the Druze are, but and also there are those who are working the same cause on behalf of the Kurdish population in Syria. There's been a big disappointment, I think, with the actions that were not taken to help the Kurds. We hope that there will be actions taken not only to help the Kurds, but certainly to help the Druze. Whether those actions come from the United States or from Israel, these are open questions. And whether the United States will allow or encourage Israel to take the lead, again, we don't know. We AIPAC have met with a number of senators and a number of Congress people in an attempt to make the situation far better known than it is. I mean, people don't even know who the Druze are in many offices where they should know, and they don't. The Kurds are better known, but the people who, we say, hello, we're working on behalf of the Druze, and they say, oh, yes, the Jews, very nice, very nice. And we have to correct them and say, no, the Druze. And then we have to explain who are the Druze. The biblical relationship between the Druze and the Jews goes back to Moses. Moses' father-in-law was Jethro. Jethro is the patriarch of the Druze philosophy. And the patriarch of the Druze religion. So this is a very, very long and very warm and integrated association. The religion of the Druze is deeply, deeply ethical. and incorporates elements of
Yeah.
many of the major religions, including Islam, including Christianity, certainly including Judaism, and also a bit of Hindu philosophy
Mhm.
and some aspects of the Greek philosophy. It's a wide-ranging, very ethical content within the religious philosophy of the Druze.
Okay, Mr. Maxine, what message would you like to give to the people of Syria, especially we talk about minority, about the future of the country, Syria?
My opinion is one that says there's a lot of work to be done. At the moment, the community's absolute tragedy has fallen off the radar of the news.
Yeah.
Where the United States has a little problem, it's called Iran. I think Iran would love to see yet another conflict. Iran would probably love to see the reaction of greater anger between communities, whether it's between communities among themselves within the umbrella of Syria, or whether it's between Israel and Hamas or Hezbollah or even Syria, although the Syrian problem hopefully will not occur. But again, the tragedy that was noted in July of last year, and that was headlines in American papers, is nowhere to be seen. And that's very much the work of AIPAC,
Yeah.
to not let this horrible situation fall off the radar of media. That's why we're speaking, so that there will be a bit more knowledge. And, you know, like a pebble in the water, each time someone is made aware, we will hope that that person will speak to others and become aware, him or herself, and make that knowledge more widely known. So yes, that's what AIPAC is trying to do. Number one, educate. Number two, lobby on behalf of the community. And number three, try and resupply the community through whatever means to help live at least a bit of a rational life. Remember, 150,000 people are displaced. Not all of the displaced people. There are another 50,000 who are not Druze, and they don't have a home. You know, live in a tent for a year, try and raise children. It's hard enough in a home to conduct a normal life, and this is absolutely tragic.
Okay.
And that's what we want to stop.
Bon, okay. Mr. Maxine, do you have any contact with any Kurdish organization or party or civil organization? Do you have any contact?
Well, I am happy to count among very, very warm friends, Antifada Kadar, who is in Washington. I suspect many people know that he represents the Kurdish community.
Yeah.
And he actually spoke on a panel on Wednesday, at a very interesting panel concerned with the ongoing problems in the Middle East. And he is a wonderfully articulate and informed person. And I'm sure that you have spoken with him in the past and probably will again in the future.
Yeah.
He is the closest contact that I personally have. Well, both of our interests are in protecting these individual communities.
Mr. Maxine, another question. We have more than 70 million Kurdish people in Middle East, in Turkey, in Iran, and Iraq, Syria. Why United Nations or another countries, they don't care about Kurdish people's situation, and they have get many tragedy in the history? Why United States or another country or FN, UN, they don't care about Kurdish situation?
Well, I think the major problem for the Kurdish nation is the fact that it's divided among larger nations that have their own interests. And the Kurds, unfortunately, have become something of a pawn. Pawn gets eliminated in chess. And that is a tragic situation. Leave it to the Brits. They never mapped the Kurdish nation when they were busy mapping the other nations of the Middle East. Some of those British lines were accurate and many of them were not. And had the Kurdish nation been given its own sovereignty, we wouldn't be having this conversation, would we?
Okay. But which message do you have for Kurdish people? What you can say for them, your message for Kurdish people? Because many people
Ibrahim,
which us.
Ibrahim.
Yes.
As I said earlier, none of us are sitting in the inner circle of the leader in Damascus or the leader in Washington. We don't know what each individual interest is, or whether there are mutual interests about which we do not know.
Yeah.
To say that I have any knowledge, or that most of us have any knowledge of what can happen for the Kurdish nation would be to be foolish. Of course, I can't answer. Only to say that I understand the hope of the Kurdish. You know, the Israeli national anthems, Hatikva, the hope. And I'm sure among the Kurdish people, and I believe that there are warm relations with Israel among the Kurdish people as well, that hope, Hatikva, must continue. And one has to believe that there will be recognition of the unique interests of the Kurdish nation, and hopefully some greater sovereignty.
Yeah. Okay. But for maybe a few minutes ago, it was contact between government in Syria and Kurdish organization. They have peace with them. What do you think about their peace?
I'm sorry, repeat the question, please.
Between Kurdish soldier and Syria's government, it was agreement. What do you think about this agreement?
It was an agreement.
Yeah.
I don't know the content of the agreement, but I do know that when people agree to something, there are two possibilities. Either it will hold or it won't hold. So we have to wait and see.
Okay. Thank you. Do you have any message or something, another thing say to us? It was last question. Yeah.
My message would be to hope for a rational understanding of each nation's interests and a rational approach to accommodating the interests of each nation. None of us want war. Peace is a very delicate and treasured situation. And it's the situation, I think, that all of us would want to happen. To have peace, each person as an individual needs to have safety and respect, and each nation within the mapped sovereignty of the greater national interest has to be secure, safe, not have rockets being shot at it, not have its young people taken into the street and murdered. I would hope that the tragedy that occurred a year ago in Sweden and 2.5 years ago in Gaza will never, ever happen again. I will hope that the negotiations between Ambassador Leithner of Israel and the Syrian and the Lebanese president will have an active effect and change the situation in Lebanon to one that will allow Lebanon to take its place among the nations of the world again as a sovereign, successful government. And that will leave us all in a much better situation. I want to thank you for an opportunity to speak about SWEDA, to speak about AIPAC, and to let the listeners know what we hope to do, and to all of us to stand strong and to continue that tikva, that hope. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time, and it was a pleasure talking with you. See you next time. I hope after a few months, maybe a few weeks, we can go.
Thank you for the opportunity to begin this process of education.
Thank you. We're very happy. You was our guest. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Thank you.
Good night.
باشه تماشاوانی جا مالا و ساعتا وقش تشتي ما بيكوني هبو مشان برسجي كرن السر روشا كرداجي السر درزيا السر وي رخصنا وي وكانت شبكه وامريكا كانت شبكه واوروبي شبكه تشتي يعني درس مدار كتي يعني القصوري مالي زماني ما انجليزي نو قاسم ما كان اللي ما جاب دفع بكر اما محاوله بكن ترجمه بكن وما بيجي سر شاشي جبوغا ونجي تيب كن او كاسه انجليزي زاد خاطري وابشي دمك دم العبد بقرا السلام عليكم شفاش